I don't need no short man. Here we go.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby. That's all screwed up.
Did you forget what the show is called?
Let's start again. Here we go. Roll it back.
Send it. I'll send it back.
Hey, everybody, welcome. Can I maybe do it here? Maybe?
I send it back.
Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I'm Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. We're back with our regular Disc Golf Answer Man episode with the amazing Robert McCall and the sub-average Eric. Oh, wait.
Sucks to
What?
suck. Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
Now he's paying attention.
Hey,
Now he's
bye.
paying attention.
Whatever.
Amazing Robert McCall and amazing Eric Oakley, of course. So we were trying a new software to do video streaming, and it didn't quite work out. It looked very pretty, but it was very such a resource hog that I had to have some setting incorrect. So I'm going to have to go back and do some more. I thought I had it figured out, then I screwed something up, then I figured it out, and then we went live, and it was like real choppy. So I apologize to those people that have saw that. But we're working on it to bring you a better Disc Golf Answer Man show. We don't have a lot of questions, but we're going to do a lot of talking about different things going on. But first, it's been, 2 weeks since we did a show together?
Yeah, and I think, at least, maybe 3.
We did a show together, Bobby, but...
Oh, yeah, 3 weeks for me then.
Yeah, so what's been up? What's the latest? What's the scoop?
I went to the Dominican Republic.
Sick.
How did that go?
Yeah. What'd you guys do there?
It was fun. We did an all-inclusive resort place, and then went to a coffee farm, did some really fun stuff, and just kind of enjoyed a nice vacation. It was really awesome. Tina's amazing and pretty amazing person to spend a full week with in a beautiful place. So it was really cool, and we're opening up the door to a lot more opportunities to travel for vacation and relaxation, as we've come up and Tina's business is doing well. My stuff is allowing us to transition in positive ways as well. So it's been awesome. So I'm stoked. And then I finally got to go throw frisbees today. And I got a bunch of stuff that I've been testing out, and I finally, put in some newer stuff that I hadn't thrown much. And I went out and threw today with Paige Pierce, and it was amazing. I like playing disc golf.
That's awesome.
So much right now, dude. Oh my god, I love it.
I was thinking we could do a short segment on the show of what's Eric Oakley throwing today, and it could be just a couple of discs that you've been testing out, and what are your thoughts, like brand new discs that you just started testing out? So
I will definitely do that, but let's hear from Robert first, and then I can talk about discs for an absurd amount of time.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of updates, life changes.
How's your butt? Is it
not
good?
Really? Yeah. It's how's that? Hey, how's that butt? No, things are good for us. We went to Thanksgiving, hung with our families some. Shay and I, on the note of doing something like fancy, Shay and I went to a restaurant in Austin last night with one of her friends and her boyfriend called Uchi.
Okay.
Have you heard of this restaurant?
Mm-mm.
No, I have not.
I thought her boyfriend was named Uchi.
No. No, the restaurant is called Uchi, and it was incredible. It's a.
Did you have to wear Gucci? Did you wear Gucci
did not,
Uchi?
but this girl's boyfriend was wearing Gucci shoes, so that's something. But no, it was unbelievable. It was a sushi restaurant, and we did the chef's tasting, which was a 10-course meal.
I love.
And they just
do one of those.
Dude, they just bring out what they want to, and everything. I didn't have a bad bite last night. It was not $0. It was very many dollars, but it's
those things are expensive.
Yes, but it's Shay's birthday month. We do like a treat yourself birthday month. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. So we did that, and it was awesome.
I laughed because I learned about I learned about
Oh,
birthday
right.
month when I
When you
lived
lived with
with
us.
Robert. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I laughed.
We
I was
take
like,
we
"Oh, yeah,
take
the whole
birthday
month."
months seriously, dude.
Yes, we
It's
do.
always
Yes, they
good
do.
to not just be like, oh, this is the only day. Too
Right.
bad. We just couldn't do this because of whatever. But it's like, no, it's like making more an effort to like get other cool things in as well, because why not?
Yeah.
It's 2 months out of the year for one for you, one for them. Like that's the right way.
Yeah. So that was awesome. And yeah, we're just chilling. Playing some pickleball. That's been fun. So yeah,
Nice.
we're chilling.
So okay, but I don't remember during your birthday month. Is it like you can do no wrong? Can you like break a plate and go, "It's my birthday month," and then you're like all
No,
forgiven type thing?
birthday month rules really apply to buying things for
I got
yourself or like doing something that you wouldn't normally do. So
What's the
let's say
craziest thing you or Shay have done in your birthday month that it was like borderline, like if it
we don't
wasn't
go
your
crazy.
birthday month? Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, we
that's
don't
no
go
fun.
crazy. But I mean, the last night would probably be the biggest thing so far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's more money than I've spent on food ever. But I mean, normally it's just like, hey, I bought an extra pair of shoes, you know, or
Yeah.
I went shopping and there's these 2 shirts I like. We'll just be like, well, it's birthday month. You just get both of them. So
Nice.
yeah,
Right.
stuff like that. It's not very excessive.
I got you. Okay.
I like it.
Yeah. And I mean, and when you're rolling in the trash money like I am, you just have to.
Yo.
I'm joking. I just wanted to say.
I mean,
trash
were
money.
they? Was it
I was gonna
found?
say
Did
dirty
you find
money.
some money behind some toilets, or is that?
Dude? Yes, yeah. That's how I got paid. Me and Joel Osteen together. That was at his church,
So
right?
bad.
Yeah,
Isn't that
that's
where
why
it
I
was?
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh man.
Anyway, no, yeah,
All right,
life's
so
good.
let's move on before we offend more people. So
Do you wanna hear about
what
just
is
some
Eric
throwing?
Yeah, what discs? Give me just 2 discs that Eric Oakley is been trying out that you're really liking. Or no,
So the
not
two,
not even that though you're really liking, just what you're trying out.
the two that I put time in with today were both from Thought Space Athletics, who they are molded by MVP. But they aren't the overmold. So one of them is the Pathfinder. It's a mid-range, very similar to a Buzz or an EMAC Truth. I really like it as a mid-range goes. I think currently the Buzz that I've been throwing is on the overstable side, and I was running into issues where I'm like, dang, this is like kind of beefy, and I like that, but it might be for a different shot. But then I
for
threw
what it
these,
is.
and I was getting this nice like easy flip up or just holding a hyzer the whole way. And once I understood, like the first 2 throws I had with it were into a headwind, so it kind of like peeled over. But I threw it as hard as I could, baby hyzer, and I was like, yeah, it's a mid range into a headwind. It's like most mids won't hold up into that kind of shot.
Right, and a Buzz is not. It's not going to move up on you out of the box, brand new, unless it's like just an understable run.
Yeah,
it's not going to flip up. It's just going to hold whatever you put on it.
Totally. And I didn't know that because this is like the first Buzz I've thrown.
Right.
But the Pathfinder reminds me a lot more of what I'm wanting, like the Buzz for a lot of shots, like a lot of wood shots, where the Buzz is actually really good as like a disc in the open air. If it's like on an open course, like it feels a little better because it's more stable. So I can miss, and it's like, no, I got you. I'm hyzering back to the basket.
I got you.
But I think once I start to figure out the Pathfinder, it's going to be a mid that I'm going to really like. There's a hole at the course I was at today where it's usually just a stock sidearm, just kind of pump a sidearm straight, let it fade, skips over towards the basket. And I decided to throw the turnover line, which is basically the same shot, but threw it with this Pathfinder that is decently stable. And I just trusted it on Anheuser and letting it kind of pull itself back to flat and it, was never burning over, never had a chance to burn and roll, didn't break out of it super soon, and didn't even, like, it held the line really nicely. And I was like, that's exactly what I'm looking for in a mid-range. And especially if I get that out of the box, plus I can get, there's going to be different runs that season in. So it's like, if this is a Buzz clone, I am super behind it. And easy glide, and it flies like a mid too, which I also like, which I think I've thrown a lot of mids in the past that fly more like fairway drivers, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I like having a mid do mid things, if that makes sense. And then the Thought Space Athletics Mantra was the other disc that I was throwing, which is an understable fairway driver. It feels like a 9-speed, probably in a similar realm to like a Valkyrie, maybe a little less than a Valkyrie. And I was like, yep, I threw it once, got it to roll, and it was exactly what I was looking for as a understable option to my bag. Plus, I threw a couple like touchy sidearms and just threw some easy stop, like just 60% hyzer sidearm, and they went forever with no effort. So it's like the Mantra is definitely going to make the bag as my roller kind of utility disc. And I'm going to try it out when I go to the woods to try to play a couple more like flippier shots to see if I actually like it on some backhand shots. And then I think the Pathfinder has a really good shot and I think it's going to be at least one of the mids that I bag, if not the mid that I lean on the most, just because I really like that. So that was one day's worth of throwing, but how they feel in the hand and how they release and how they are already flying hypes me up a ton.
Nice. That's awesome.
Thought Space Athletics. I got to admit, I hadn't heard of them until recently.
Dude, they have some of the best
the
stamps
story
in the
behind
game.
them? I'm looking at their website. I'm looking at their apparel stuff, and it looks pretty darn cool.
Oh, they're more on the artistic side of things, and it's why I was so excited to see their brands and try them out. Is they are aesthetically pleasing. You can kind of do a lot with it, and I don't know. Our art is something that I think is lost in a lot of companies who are trying to be in big box stores and different things like that. Because if you walk up, you wouldn't know what that disc is in a lot of cases if it's a Thought Space Athletics. But Thought Space Athletics, I think, is more for the your everyday disc golfer who's looking for something cool. They do a lot of triple foil stamping as well, which is creates a really cool option. Plus, they are how they do things. From what I understand, is when they run a stamp, it is one and done kind of thing. So cool. You're not going to see that product again with that same stamp on it. So that's another cool concept that allows for some really, really cool stuff to kind of roll out. So I've been really enjoying it. I've been chatting a lot with them. We have, there's hopefully some opportunities on the horizon, but we'll, nothing set in stone just yet.
Yeah, cool. That's cool though. See new brands and different brands come into the thought space. Bad, I know. All right, so we do have a couple questions. Let's see if we can get a couple questions in. This one's from Caleb. He says the off season is killing me. Can you recommend any coverage from the last few years? Oh, he wants it with DD players that I should watch. Bonus if their player is a lefty.
Oh, Zach Mountain. Just search Zach Mountain and Chris Clemens.
Yeah, that's your lefties right there. So, but other than just DD, what's some, if you were like telling someone like, if you haven't seen this coverage, watch it, or if you have seen this coverage, watch it again.
I got this one.
Yeah.
Go for it.
For the old guard of people, go find the channel Nonstop Disc Golf, and that is where you will see Baby Paul Macbeth. You'll see Will Schustrick in his prime, Dave Felber, Cale LaVisca out shredding, Devin Owens, great lefty player. You'll see some shots. Philo, Ken Climo, Paul Ulibarri, Avery Jenkins, Nate Doss, Steve Rico, Steve Brinster, One of the best ones is the Beaver State Fling, where Kale and Tim Skellinger battle it out, and he sometimes puts some music over it, which kind of makes it more like a skate video. If you ever watched skateboarding videos back in the day, where they had this, it was more highlights of a round rather than a full round coverage. It's different from what you're probably used to, but it is a gem on YouTube.
It's awesome.
It's really well worth watching, and also to get to see how twofold, how big disc golf has gotten, and also how similar it still is, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the shots you see people throwing outside of, you see less forehands, but the most of the shots you see people throwing, especially at Beaver State Fling, those are the same shots that Eagle is throwing. Those are the same shots that all the high level players are throwing. Everybody's doing the same things and scoring similarly. I don't know if it might have been hotter some years, it might have been less, but it all weather dependent is a big factor. But again, what is possible with a disc has been kind of we reached that point a while back. We're not really seeing people do much more with it what was done, and this is 2012, so 9 years ago, I think, is whenever all of this is kind of rolling out. So it's again before the boom, before a lot of people you've really seen out there golfing. So there's it's awesome. Just go watch it.
I'll recommend a channel to you that if you haven't watched stuff from this channel, I think that you'll be impressed, because this channel was doing what Jomez did before Jomez did it. They just made beautiful coverage, and it's a European channel called LCGM8.
Yes.
You probably won't know the players on there by and large, but
they did a great job.
Go watch. It's beautiful. Even before really high quality stuff was in disc golf, they were doing high quality stuff. If you've kept up with the Pro Tour the last couple of years, there's some really great tournaments that you can go watch, of course.
Any of them.
But go back, go look at LCGM8, like the number 8. I think they're a cool channel.
If you're interested in a lefty, go watch Teemu Nisanen out of Finland.
Pure form.
He was on I know I was on round 1 with him at Toonie, TYYNI. If whoever's listening wants to go check out, he threw he was with Latitude 64 at the time. So he is one of the best throwers of a disc in the game, period. Hands down. And I say that, but if you watch him throw, it's immaculate. But now if we put him on the green, that's when the equalization.
Not the best
happens.
Putter.
I hope he hears this.
Incredible thrower, though. Incredible thrower.
He's
still a good putter. But not an elite putter.
If he putted at an elite level, like he would have, there's a chance he could have easily won many tournaments, like top level tournaments I'm talking European majors, come over and won some American tournaments as well. Like he's at that level of throwing the disc. But it's a different game when even whenever, like, if you say he's putting every shot within 40 feet, it's great. Not everybody makes all their 40 footers. So like it's to that level as well, where he is always going to have a look. So his putting might look worse because he's always putting on every basket. He smashes discs and just makes it look so easy.
I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead and be the one that corrects your pronunciation, Eric Oakley, because it's not. No, Eric Oakley, because me and Robert learned this when we visited, is that when there's two vowels right next to each other, it's not a long sound like Dimu. It's Deemu.
Dang.
So you gotta like almost.
Yeah, there's like a baby break in
like
it.
Baby paw.
It'd be like Deemu.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just call him Timu.
Bask in this right now. I'm just gonna bask in it in a little bit. I got to correct somebody's pronunciation.
And also, it's Dooney.
Anyway, all right. So we got another question. This was a long one. Here we go. This is from Tim. It seems like when pros get the opportunity to build a mixed bag, they default to Discraft, Innova, and Discmania. Eric, It's awesome to see that you're giving the Berg a try, but will you give other small brands like RPM, Mint, Streamline, Thought Space, or even Catablast discs a try? I'm sorry, Castablast. It would be really
Blast.
cool to see a pro move past the easy defaults and try something different that might surprise them, even if it's just for a video series of exploring lesser thrown brands, and talking how they stack up to the established defaults. We've already talked about the Thought Space stuff you're trying out, so
Boom. Yeah.
there's that.
I actually received a package today from Mint to try out some of their stuff. I've heard really good things. I am actually very much liking the Berg. I don't know, when I threw a Grim X, I think it was what it was from Castaplast, and it didn't do anything that like an Emperor Destroyer type of disc would already do. So it was like, okay, I think I'm going to lean on that because it's a more proven disc. Even though I know that if I were to need a disc in a pinch, I can grab a Grim X and it'd be exactly what I'm looking for. Which, if you haven't, I think it feels better in the hand for if you have smaller hands. The Grim X feels better than a Destroyer or an Emperor would, or a Raider or a Force or a Zeus to kind of hit a lot of them. It feels better in the hand. So that's something that I could see people trying. I'm looking over at these boxes over here. I did grab some MVP, which I guess isn't one of those smaller brands. I did grab some RPM. I even grabbed some brands that you probably haven't even heard of that I'm going to be
What?
well, just because they're on the smaller side. Like there were brands that I hadn't even heard of when I was picking discs when I was in Utah. So Mint is definitely going to get some testing and get some options. I'm going to have a more open conversation with them in regards to other discs they plan on producing in the future, what their goals are, because they are a great company that I think can do some really cool stuff. And I'll be brutally honest to any small company, is that I don't want to grab a disc from a company and say, I'm throwing this now, and then not actually throw it. Does that make sense? It's like, that seems disingenuous. It doesn't actually play into it. Like, if I'm going to put my name behind a disc, I want to be behind it completely and pump.
Like it's actually making it.
Yes, so that's a part of it. I did have RPM. I think there's a box coming from New Zealand on its way here. So that once that one gets here, I'll be putting those discs. I grabbed a Pika Pika from RPM that I'm going to be putting up to test with the Mantra as that understable roller type disc. And if it ends up rolling better, then it's a very good option to fill it out. But I have a couple other ones, and I could not name them because the names of all the RPM discs are insane. But I definitely see myself trying out more of these smaller brands. When I was talking with Paige about it today, I think that's the coolest part about all of this, is that I don't need to take for instance a Buzz and then a beat up Buzz and then another a more beat up Buzz and another Buzz. It's like, I don't need that necessarily in my bag. Like, I can have a Buzz that's brand new. Is that overstable one that I'm using, a couple of Pathfinders, then an Anubis, and then a Claymore and a Justice. And then it's like, I have this more diversified mid-range lineup, which isn't how I've usually played, but why not try that? Because obviously we hit a plateau. So let's try things that take us past that. And we need to kind of break some of our own molds, if you will, of what we've always done, where I've always been limit the molds and have a lot of certain molds and break them in. So now I can go a different direction where I have a lot of molds and that are diversified. So I have very specific shots that certain discs can handle, and I have a bigger bag, and we'll see if that works. So who knows?
That's cool.
I could go the end of the year and I could have a very small bag. I could have my shift from Upper Park and only have 12 discs in there and just shred. But we'll see. Time will tell.
That's cool.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so another thing we got going on is I looked at the Ulti World. They have their sponsorship tracker, Disc Golf Player sponsorship tracker, and it has grown quite a bit since the last time we talked about it. Some people staying where they're at. I guess if you guys are looking at it, is there any big surprises? I mean, I'm not surprised that Michael Johansson sticking with Discraft, Greg Barsby sticking with Innova,
Cole Redallen
Matty
to
O.
Infinite
Huh?
is awesome. Let's go.
Yes.
I'm somewhat biased, but I great kid, very promising future, and now he gets to open the door to a lot of different companies. So big time.
Is there?
Yeah.
Can we talk on Matt Bell leaving DGA or DGA
Mhm.
without bashing?
thi-
Only because I saw him post something or somebody post something where it was like it felt like it was like a little controversy. I just like saying that like that. No, but I mean, it just felt like there was something off of him leaving. So I don't know that we can speak on that.
I mean, I don't have any expertise on it, but I'm pretty sure that it says on the sponsorship tracker, it says early termination. If I remember correctly, he had either just signed or recently signed like a decent extension with DGA or something like that, and then just said like, I'm not doing that anymore. So I don't know where he's going or what's up with it, but that's all I know about it.
I would think a big factor with a small company like DGA being where they are as a company is it's got to be difficult to get discs. DGA discs are not one of Discraft's priorities at the moment because Discraft machines, Discraft discs are just moving so fast that I could see it being more on a production side issue of Matt wants more opportunity and it's not able to be done because DGA is not in charge of their own production schedule. And I say this out of pure speculation, and it's not a bash at Discraft or DGA. It's just sometimes how it is in the world of disc golf right now. And soon there will be a point where the world will be flushed with DGA plastic, which will be awesome. And because they do have a lot of really good molds out there, but I think that that's just kind of what we might be seeing is that Matt feels like he's earned maybe more and wants to go pursue that to be with a company that can, just step up to the plate and deliver. So that's, I think that would be where my brain tends to lead. And again, it's not a problem of the companies not being good enough. It's just simply because the demand is still so high that these things just fall through the cracks. Like
That's interesting.
I guess I could, I'll stop myself. So that's it.
I don't know if we talked about Gavin last time, but Gavin Rathman, he's going from Discmania to DD. He had been sponsored by Latitude 64 before, so it's not going to be a totally new shift for him. But
he's a good kid too, man.
Yeah, he really is.
And kid.
Maybe we did talk about this because I think we had this conversation. An elite distance guy throws the disc so far.
He's gonna do good things in disc golf no matter who he was with. So it's a cool thing to see.
Yeah, one other on here that I know we haven't talked about is Matt Oram going from Prodigy to West Side Discs. Cool one for Matt. Matt was on Latitude for a bit. Yeah. That's right. So once again, not a new bag. But I'm gonna say something, and look, y'all can tell me if it was the dumb thing to say, but I'm gonna say what my opinion is because whatever. So Prodigy announces that Matt is leaving the team. Okay. And in their post say something about, we wish him the best with West Side Discs. And then a lot of people were like, well, they were just showing their, 100% support or whatever. No, they weren't. That was on purpose. And look, if you wrote this at Prodigy and you happen to be listening to this, I'd love to have a conversation about this, but I thought that was a little bit not the best move. The company who's getting the player always gets to do something cool. We want to announce it. We want to hype people up. And you kind of take the wind out of their sails when you just do it. And so once again, my opinion, didn't think it was the best move. You can do what you want to do, but
I think it's in disc golf. That's the common thing you see.
I'm not saying that's across sports because it's different across sports.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think in disc golf, I don't think it was the best move. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah.
So you think it was purposely as a
yes,
as a
I do.
Toward Matt?
No, not toward Matt. I think it was just, here's the last chip that we hold. We know that Matt is going somewhere. We just want to play it. Because it takes the wind out of West Side. Well, it takes the wind out of the momentum of West Side sales, or not sales. Yeah. Take the wind out of the sales, right? Yeah. I mean,
see that. Yeah.
I do think it was intentional. Honestly not that big of a deal, but
you're right.
If I was writing something like that, well, I'll give you an example. When Paige left DD to go to Discraft, I didn't say anything about Discraft. Yeah. We let them make that call, So I don't know. That's all. That's all I'll say about it.
I got you. So there is some rumors going around with Kona and Ricky Wysocki going to DD. So obviously nothing official has been announced. So we'll have to see.
So it's all the rumor mill at this point. But
I was going to say that's new to me.
I think there's just so much out there that we'll never really understand, because I have been a part of conversations and talked with players where they feel one day it's like, yep, 100% with this company, let's go, and then somebody steps up and changes the tone, and then it's kind of interesting how it all plays out. And this has come from my own personal spot where there are plenty of times where I thought I was going to a different company or different things. So it's until ink is on paper, like, we can only think of all of this as speculation. And I think that there's probably a lot of it that we might not hear about until January 1st or 2nd, because of contracts being maybe being signed from January 1st through December 31st type of thing. So yeah.
All right, and then what else we got? We got we'll leave the rules update for the very last. I actually have one more question. Shay Stevens sent in a speak pipe. I said it right the first time.
You did.
I was correcting myself, even though I said it right.
Nailed it.
I don't believe in myself. I don't even believe in myself anymore. All right, hold on. I got to set the settings to record audio here, and let's hear from Shay Stevens. And we're not hearing from Shay Stevens. Why are we not hearing from Shay Stevens? Okay, you guys talk about all the discs that we just got approved. Looks like we have a lot of discs being approved while I figure this out.
Yeah, I didn't have that pulled up, Eric, if you've got it.
It's just on the front page real quick. The new MD1 from Discmania looks absurd. I watched Simon throw it a bunch. Popcorn from Clash Discs, Glory, which will be a new Royal prototype.
Hold on, popcorn.
Yep, it's there. What? Hold on, we'll get some more. Some more Clash Discs in a second.
Hilarious name.
We got Glory, which is for Latitude 64, another Royal Line disc. D2 from Prodigy, D2 Pro from Prodigy, which I actually threw one of the D1s, one of the new D1s from Prodigy. Thomas Gilbert had it while he was here. Super good, very overstable, and actually like what a D1 I feel like was supposed to be like. Good luck with that. Boreum from Loft Discs. Here we go. Mint from Clash Discs, Mango from Clash Discs, and Berry from Clash Discs. So they are very much diving into the food market. I feel like I really want to get some of these and check them out.
Especially you have to at least try a mango.
Oh, for sure. That's the one I want the most. Let me see if it's. Oh my God, it's a mid-range. Let's go. All right. And then I know Innova's come out with a couple recently, the Zero, the Animal, and different things like that. So it's cool to see. This is a great time. And one of the craziest parts is like a lot of these discs might get run once and never be run again, which is it happens, but it's worth trying because everybody wants to make that, go to fairway or mid.
For sure. And To the credit of these companies that are releasing these, if I'm a disc golf company right now, I would love to keep my shelves stocked with old tried and true favorites. But you know what sells? New discs. Everybody loves new discs. And so, like, as a consumer, if I was really upset that I couldn't get something, I'm upset. But from the company standpoint, dude, put out every new disc that you can, because it's going to do well.
Totally.
So, yeah, anyway.
Market it too. Gets big.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Mango.
Tastes like mango.
Yeah, I'm curious about the Boreum. That's the Loft Discs is the company that put out that hydrogen putter, like the no fade putter. So yeah, I'm curious to see what that driver is like.
Yeah, I think it's considered a 14 speed. So I know they were probably trying to make Destroyer, Boss, variant, but who knows? Nuke, maybe, even if it's that fast.
Nuke. All right, Bobby, you got it?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to hit with some tournaments that happened this weekend. Never mind. We won't do tournaments. We'll do Bobby's questions.
Here we go. This is from Shay.
What's up, Shay?
You need to turn that up, Bobby. Yeah.
This is just, I just really wish, I hope that one of these comes in. It's like, this is from Shay. And it's just, Robert.
That's
I would die at that point.
Still super quiet on our part.
All right,
Bobby.
Can you hear it at all, Eric?
No.
I can hear that he's talking, but it's super duper quiet.
I can hear it like perfectly fine.
Huh? Yeah. We can't.
Okay. Well, at the 10th annual Chain Hawk Open, Thomas Gilbert beat the field by 3. Big ups to him. Really solid field of Johnny McRae, Calvin Heinberg, Noah Five Ash, Corey Ellis, Casey White, AJ Carey, GG, his brother. Great players in the field.
Yeah,
you love to see it. Win. Oh, my boy Cole Wareheim, sup? Way to go. Splash, splash. Jessica Weiss edged out Deanne Carey in a playoff. Man, I think that's the second playoff Deanne has lost, but it's showing she's right there, which is super, super cool. You'll love to see it. Nick Newton took down the Arizona State Championships with Jen Allen winning the FPO side. Really cool. Jordan Castro, Austin Turner were some great players out there getting after it. The ATX Open, I think, was at Roy G, which is amazing. Tanner
Roy G and
McCartney. Yeah, Tanner McCartney took that one down, even though despite his final round not being his best, he played so hot in his first 2 rounds. It's just really cool to see. Maria Oliva taking down the FPO side. What's up, Maria Mascrilla? And then one that I thought was really cool was Owen Scoggins getting another win at the Wintertime Open. But Brian Vaggi, who I met playing at the Wintertime or one of the tournaments, I think one of the tournaments that were at over at that course, but amazing human being. He's like tried and true local. Really cool to see him get a win. He took it down by 5, which was awesome to see, playing some really good golf. 10-25, 10-48. Yeah, that's the way to go win a tournament. Let's go. Yeah. Updates.
Sick. Yeah.
Bobby? One other thing. Hold on.
Okay.
Bobby?
No.
Anything?
Same. Super quiet.
I hear nothing.
I give up.
We'll save it for next week.
On the night.
I'll do those rule changes real quick. Okay. So yeah. The PDGA came out with a whole bunch of rule changes, like a lot. But shout out to Dixon Jowers. He has a podcast called On the Box with Dixon Jowers.
Dixon Jowers.
He posted on his group Facebook page about the ones that are specifically like most impactful. And I agree with him. I think these are the best ones. The excessive time one, I think, is interesting. So they removed the language of the free of distractions from excessive time. And that was abused by some people. Like if they're getting close to 30 seconds, they could like swat at something like there's a fly in their face or something like that and then reset. Not so much. Now it's just 30 seconds from when you approach your lie. So hopefully that'll speed things up a little bit.
But
I don't think this actually. I don't think this solves any issues.
No, because they still
you.
have to. Yeah, I mean, people still have to call it, but at least there's a leg for them to stand on where they say, "Oh well, I got distracted." Well, I don't care.
Yeah, it's in your time.
At least the rule is there.
I think where this continues to be an issue, especially on the pro scene, is we shouldn't be making these calls. This doesn't solve anything because we shouldn't be making these calls. Yes, and I understand that this book is set out to blanket all disc golf, right?
Right.
And that makes sense. But if we're being honest, all right. Okay, let's get real. Let's go. What other professional organization is having to think about amateur level rules when making rules for the professional side of the sport? Does the NBA think, oh, if we have the shot clock rule at 24 seconds with the 3-point line out to this distance, how is that going to impact the Sunday League basketball that's happening at the YMCA? They don't care. If that YMCA wants to adopt those rules, they can. But when the NBA is creating their rules, they are only thinking about the game at the highest level. Same for hockey, same for football, same for soccer, same for all of these. So that's I think one issue that we're having is that this should be yes, you have 30 seconds, and if you exceed it, a marshal will call you, and a marshal can be called in by your card mates to watch your time. Like those types of things are what we should be pushing towards. And obviously, again, I say this as this is not the PDGA doing anything wrong, because it is necessary for them at this current state to blanket everything. So that is totally fine. But this doesn't solve any issues on the Pro Tour, simply because like we all feel we're all on the same page that we think it is very dumb that we have to call each other. It just doesn't feel right, because it's not, it is completely distracting from me playing the course. It's pretty, well,
sure.
You get my point.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is the practicality of it, right? Like that you have to have the exact same number of marshals as you do groups, certified, by the way. They can't just be a volunteer like for UDISC scoring, which, by the way, shout out UDISC volunteers. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, of course, there's a marshal with every card, but
and that's something that doesn't have to be with every card. It could be every hole, every couple holes, so they can be called in when a rule needs to be done. Or when it needs to be understood. And I thought about it, it's like, okay, what if it's every 3 holes, but sometimes set of 3 holes are vastly farther apart. Right. But okay, what every 2 holes are, then you're down to, it's 9 people needed, but they need to be there all weekend, and it needs to be somewhat of a paid gig, and they need to understand the rules. But what happens if it's the same person calling the rules is that if you have one person monitoring hole 2, and the OB is confusing, right? But he makes the call. Consistent. Yeah, he's making the call for every card the same exact way, and now it feels more like everybody is playing on the same page. Because what happens right now is, me and you are on a card, feeling good. Oh yeah, I think you went out up here. It's all fine. Like, and yeah, you'll take your lie this way or whatever. Cool, awesome, we get that. But I could be on a card with Bobby, and he's like, no, I actually think you went down a little bit farther from where I see your disc. Like we end up with 2 different interpretations of an OB call, and that can happen round to round. That can happen card to card. It's there's not enough consistency in those rules. So it's hard, because I understand the hurdles it is asking for, simply because we need a lot of people to make these calls and do these things. And if we had a marshal and you knew that, all right, marshal on holes 1 and 2 called player A on a time violation, it's marked on the card, cool. You go to hole 6 and 7, player A is then called on a time violation again. It's now no longer a warning. It's now a stroke because it's the second violation type of thing. Because you can go like time violation, mark it on a card. Now, when they see 2 time violations on a card, they know it's a penalty stroke. So it allows. So that's how you would interpret that. And again, it just puts us in this weird spot where. Okay, let's get back to more of the rules, but it puts us in this weird spot because we need
right.
These aren't actual changes. Yes, it helps, but I don't like what they said of. It says second, it allows more. No, it doesn't say that. It says eliminates free distraction language, which is a broad, unenforceable on the time, the free distractions. It made it feel like it was unenforceable. It's definitely enforceable, but still, it doesn't like you're not helping us by creating more avenues to create marshals and ways for us to not have to call it. That would be making things more enforceable than this. Yeah. Let's go. Sorry.
Yeah.
What do you got next for the rules?
I don't know if y'all saw the new OB, but it's different than in years past. It used to be you took a meter in perpendicular from where the disc went out of bounds. Now you can take a meter relief anywhere, like a meter relief in any direction. Yeah, in any direction. So even if that's closer to the basket, you can take that. Which is interesting. I don't know if that was broken, but I don't think it's a bad change. The only thing that I can think of is that there might be people who could take advantage of that, but if everyone has the same option, then like that. Yeah, what are you going to do? So
does it give a reason why that change happened?
No, I mean, I think it creates less confusion. And then there was always the problem of if you went into like a 90-degree OB, where do you take your meter from? Is that one from this side, one from that? Now it's just a meter from where the disc went out of bounds in any direction you can choose. I saw that the discs that wedge in the basket are legal again, which means the rule changes that nobody has to see the disc enter the target. And so, if you're using a super soft putter and it wedges in the side of the basket, good for you. It counts. I don't love that rule change personally. For the same reason that I don't love if the disc is landing on the top of the basket, that it's not in the basket. I feel like there's in the basket and then there's in the side of the basket or on top of it. And I feel like if you count one of those, you should probably count both. I don't think you should count either, but that's just how I feel about it. I don't know. Anyway, Dixon pointed out one about a misplay, but the other one that's gotten a whole lot of flack or feedback is that you have to be a current member of the PDGA to play in B tier tournaments or higher. And honestly, I'm fine with this personally. And Dixon puts it exactly like I think I would say it. He said some are worried that this will inhibit new player growth. I don't share that concern. C tiers are for the true newbies. That's what I think too. If you are a real new player, play C tiers, play one round C tiers, play local leagues. That's what those are there for. There's kind of an idea of like an entitled player base that says, hey, I don't want to be current and I don't want to pay my dues, but I would like to play at the highest level. That doesn't fly in other sports.
Doesn't make sense.
I don't think it should fly here. So that's why I'm fine with this change. Doesn't bother me even a little bit. And same thing if you can't accept cash if you're not a PDGA member either.
It's to track money, which I can grasp as a entity and get as we get bigger. It's important for understanding where the money does go and having
everything's got to be on the up and up. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, quite a few rule changes. None of them groundbreaking or anything, but I mean some that I think are good changes. Like I don't mind the membership change. I think that.
But here's think about it from our side of where we've been members for a long time. It's been something that makes sense for us. It's not a big deal to the local dude who plays every tournament, who hasn't had a membership in a long time, pays the extra, doesn't care. It matters to him more, to him or her or they more. It's just to the standpoint where it's like, understand that we need to have a better change. We need to be more professional about our tournaments. It's not just this random unsanctioned thing. It's like there is insurance that is taken out of, there is dues that are paid, there are proper channels that everything has to be followed through. And I would imagine that having non-current members makes that job a lot more difficult. And I think that that's another part of this, of why it makes sense for us and tournament directors. But for those, they just need to wake up and be adults and move forward. Is kind of
it's just that's part of it. Like, you want to play, then you got to pay. That's just how it goes. Easy
mode.
That's the majority of the rule changes that Dixon thought were impactful, and I agree with that as well.
I browsed through it. There's not much else that really has much going on. I think it's all just clarification stuff, and that's the hardest part when making rules, is because verbiage is incredibly important. So
yeah.
Perfect. Well, I think that's really all the time we have left. I apologize for all the audio issues with the speak pipe, but we'll try to get it figured out, and then I'll try to get that other new software figured out as well, so we can get that rocking and rolling.
So we'll be bumping tomorrow or next Monday.
Yeah, what's next Monday?
When we're doing this again.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it's going to be bumping next weekend.
No, yeah, it's going to be bumping next Monday, because we're going to look so sick on that new screen.
So you guys make sure you keep sending those questions in, send those speak pipe questions in, and we'll see if we can get some answers for you. And then we'll have Eric Oakley report on a couple new discs that he's trying out as well. And I'm sure as we get closer and closer to 2022, we're going to see even more sponsorship changes when it comes to players. So anyway,